Okay, we're here to talk about the unit circle in trigonometry. The unit circle is made up of a circle that has a radius of 1, exactly 1, and a center of 0, 0. So we've recreated this here at the minute, and we've just drawn in an angle of 30 degrees. Now what the coordinates on the unit circle actually represent, which is useful for us, is the x coordinates of this point here represents the cosine of the angle. So in for example here, you see it here on the left hand side, cosine of 30 is 0.87, which is the x coordinates at that point, and sine of 30 is 0.5, which just happens to be the y coordinates at that point. Where tan of 30 comes from is from your SOHCAHTOA, sine, cosine, tan. Tan is opposite over adjacent. So the opposite value in this case here is 0.5, the adjacent value is 0.87. 0.5 represents sine, 0.87 represents cosine, so it's actually sine of the angle divided by cosine of the angle will give you tan. We just move our bar across here and we'll just see as we change around. So you'll see the values are constantly changing. It's significant here that as you move into this second quadrant here, cosine becomes negative because the x value is negative. If you take about the x-axis, it's now gone to the left of 0, so it's negative from there until it goes back across. Sine is positive because we're still above the x-axis, so y is still positive, but tan has gone negative because while sine is positive, cosine is negative, so that gives us, when you divide those two, you get a minus value for tan. We keep bringing that around as far as 180 and into the next quadrant. Now this quadrant here, both x and y are negative, so that gives us a cosine, negative value for cosine, negative value for sine, and because both of those are negative, we have a positive tan result. We keep moving around to 270 and past 270, and you'll see in this case here then in this quadrant we have cosine is positive, sine is negative, and that gives us a negative tan value. And we move all the way around, and just to summarize that at the very end, all sine, cosine and tan are positive in the first quadrant between 0 and 90. From 90 to 180, the second quadrant, only sine is positive. In the third quadrant, from 180 to 270 degrees, only tan is positive, and from 270 to 360, only cosine is positive for angles in those quadrants. Okay.